Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today's project is we're going to be replacing this pedestal sink with a regular vanity and a countertop. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our water supply is turned off. And the way we're going to do that is the shut-off valves in the back over here and on this side over here. Let me bring a light in there and I'll show you where they are so you see them. This is the shut-off valve right here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, we're going to shut that valve off before we open up and take off this 5/8 nut right up here. So we're going to shut these first. We'll turn these off as tight as you can. They may be a little stiff, so just be careful. Turn them as tight as you can. Now you do have a hot and you have a cold. This, of course, is the hot. Okay, that's off. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so now they're both closed. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to the top of the sink, turn your water on to make sure that your valves are closed. And they are, there's no water coming out. So now we know our water supply is turned off to the sink itself. Okay, so now our water supply is turned off and we made sure it's off on top. We're going to put a couple of rags down the bottom because even if this valve here is turned off, you're still going to get the water from this line here dripping down onto the floor. So we're going to come in here, we're going to open it up very, very slowly just so that the water can drain out. And just so you know, this one here is a 5/8. Yours may be different size, but it's 5/8. Do not force it and bend the valve itself. So we're going to hold it with one hand. We're going to come in here, we're going to pull it and break it loose a little bit. And now once it's loose, it should come off fairly easy. We're going to let that water come dripping out first. Okay, and then we'll just lift that up like that. So this one is totally disconnected now. Let's do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so that's disconnected now as well. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the waistline right here. Now this waistline, just so you know, this one will drip a little bit. So we do have a bucket here when that does happen, if we can get it underneath there. If we can't, we'll just have to clean up the mess that it's going to make. And as you can see with here, there's really no way we're going to get this bucket in behind this pedestal. All right, so let's disconnect the trap itself. We have our rags to catch the water. Okay, and now our trap is disconnected as well. Okay, we're just going to dry up where we're working so we don't have any water damaging anything. Okay, next thing we're going to do is up underneath the bottom. I know it's going to be tough to see, but you see right up in here, you see that bolt right there? This is that nut. It looks like it's about a 9/16 nut. We're going to remove that 9/16 nut and one more on the other side, and then this pedestal will be ready to come off of the base itself. All right, so let me take these out and then we'll come right back. Okay, so you can see we have that one nut loosened up right there. We're going to loosen up this one right up here. And now we're going to have an assistant hold the sink so that way it doesn't fall out on top of us while we're working. Oh, here's my volunteer right now. She wants to see what I'm doing in here. Okay, back to work. Okay, now before we totally take those 9/16 bolts off on the bottom, we're going to come up here with a utility knife and we're going to cut through this caulking that's up here because that caulking is also holding this pedestal to the wall. Alright, so we'll come in here with our utility knife and we'll just cut along and cut it all off. And then once we have this all cut off, then we'll be ready to remove the pedestal. Okay, so now we pulled it away from the wall. As you can see, it had a lot of silicone on there, so you use your utility knife to cut through it. Of course, we'll come in here and scrape this off. We are going to remove these bolts just so we don't have them sticking through right here. And you can see down on the floor where the pedestal was actually located. We had to cut that with the utility knife as well. But that's it. Pedestal is now off. We're going to get rid of it, and then we'll come back in and we'll clean this all up here, and then we'll put start to put the new one back together. Okay, well, you get the idea. Next we're going to come up here and we're going to do the exact same thing on this wall right here, and we'll get that silicone off of there. Okay, now you're probably wondering, how are you going to get these out of the wall, or how do they even get them into the wall? Now, whether it's in the wall here or it's a rusted bolt that you need to remove out of your automobile or wherever, there's different ways you can do it. One, you could take a pair of big channel lock pliers like this, get on this and try to turn it. But as you can see, it's just not moving. The best way to do it is to take two nuts, which fit onto there, take one and thread it down all the way down like this. Thread it down. Take your second nut, do the exact same thing. Thread it down all the way down as far as you can here. You want to go about halfway down the bolt that you're trying to extract. Now these are 9/16. Yours may be different sizes, but they're 9/16. Now we're going to take a wrench, put a wrench on here, and put a wrench on here, and we're going to lock these two nuts very tightly against each other, as tight as you can make them, like that. And now once you have them tight, you go to the nut that's in the back right here, put your wrench on that, and take it, and then turn it. And as you can see, it'll come right out. Now whether it's on your house or on your car or wherever, that's an easy way of extracting a bolt. If you like this video and you'd like to see future videos, please hit the subscribe button down below. When you touch the subscribe button, a bell is going to come up. When you see the bell come up, you can click on it and highlight if you'd like to be notified of future uploads. But that's it. This job is done and we're on to the next one. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.